Hi everyone, this is Jamie from Painted Lady Tarot, and today I thought we would do a comparison of the Tarot Visconti. Now I've got two different editions here in front of me. We've got the I Tarocchi dei Visconti. This is the Il Meneghello edition. Then over here we have the Visconti Tarots. This would be the Lo Scarabeo edition. Now as you can see immediately the biggest difference, holy snap, look at the size. The Il Meneghello ones are a reproduction deck. So these ones are actually made to look like the ones that we find in the museum. So the original cards, they're from the 15th century. The Lo Scarabeo, I mean, they are based off of the original drawings, but they've been cleaned up and gilded like crazy. So let's have a look and see. Now, the Lo Scarabeo ones just come in a regular old tuck box, and they are a standard size. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take those out. Now the Il Meneghello, of course, come in the luxurious, fantastical telescopic box that we all love so much. Let's just pop this right out of here. Okay. Now, they both have their little front card. These are a numbered edition, so this one's 933 out of 1,000. This is just your little intro card. Now, the Il Meneghello one, this is the like little white book, and literally has 2 pages by Christina Dorsini. There's nothing in there. There's nothing. You're not going to learn how to read. Learn how to read tarot from this. Put those aside. The Il Meneghello standard card. Let's just tell you some other cards that are from the series. And their own little white book. It's pretty solid. They have, you know, a little one line for each of the cards. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little side by side here. So, you can see it here. The Lo Scarabeo are beautiful. Look how gold and shiny they are. They're pretty awesome. Now, of course, not gold, not shiny, but they have definitely put something in the ink on these cards that make them, there's like a little bit of reflection in the gold section. They're beautiful, beautiful as well. So just to give you a nice little difference. So you can see that definitely these are cleaned up, but it's the same image. It's just a little more neat and tidy. Oh yes, and the backs. Lo Scarabeo did not use the traditional back. Il Meneghello did. This is the Il Meneghello, but it's like that brick red color, and it's exactly the same as the one that are at the museum. I'm not sure why Lo Scarabeo decided to use something else, but whatever. Our magician. Now, as you see, traditionally they were not numbered. There's no numbers on there. Lo Scarabeo, they put numbers on for us, which is nice if you're not entirely sure about your card ordering. They have made it easy for you. Here is our High Priestess, or the Papess. Next, hold on, I'm going to put these guys together a little better. Our Empress. The Emperor. Now, another thing that I actually like about the Lo Scarabeo ones is that because they've cleaned up the image, see when I move it like this, you can see that he's got the hat on and you can see the ball in his hand. If you look at the original, because of the gilding, or the way that the gilding had been done, you can't, like, it's much harder to make out the line of his little fancy hat he's got going on, and harder to make out this as well. But if you look at this one, because they've made a differentiation between the gold part and just the regular coloring, it's very easy to see. Same here for this fella. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Il Meneghello. I love everything that they do. But as somebody who really wants to understand this particular deck and understand it better, I find it helpful as a study aid to have both versions, just because look how much easier it is from, it's almost like for study purposes. It's like, okay, yes, this is what it looks like now after the years and time have had their way with it. But it's kind of cool to be able to see it here. Just it makes it easier for me to make out some of the image that you can't really make out very well in the original. This is super, super obvious when we look at the Lovers card. I mean, look at the angels. The Chariot. Justice. Father Time, the Hermit, whatever you want to call him. The Wheel of Fortune. Strength. Not that that nice lady who's got her hand in a lion's mouth. This is more of a young guy looking to beat the crap with a bat out of the lion. With the weirdest looking lion you ever saw. You look here. Kind of looks like a pug, I'm not gonna lie. It's weird looking. Here we have our traitor, the Hangman. Death, who seems to have some kind of a bow. Kind of like Cupid. Maybe he's gonna shoot a bow and arrow at you there. We have Temperance. That's another thing too. You'll see on the Lo Scarabeo, we've got the names written in a few different languages of what the cards are. Il Meneghello, as it was a repro. We don't have any of that. Now, the Devil was one of the cards that had been lost to time that we don't have anymore. So it's kind of up to, they both use different artists to try to do a depiction of what they thought that this card would have looked like. They're both pretty entertaining. I have to say, though, I do prefer the Il Meneghello, just because this whole idea with the supplicants, I don't think that really came historically. That's probably not too accurate as to how they were depicting this card. So I'm going to have to give points to Il Meneghello for this one. Same thing here with the Tower. Two different artists, because like I said, this is another card that had been lost to time. Next we have the Star. And the Moon. The Sun. This card cracks me up. Looks like he's on some kind of like air skateboard, holding a severed head. Very different from the Sun that we're used to looking at. Judgment card here, this actually is very much the way that we're still looking, people are pretty much depicting this card the same way as they were 15th century. I mean, we can see the people coming out of the grave, there's God and some angels, pretty standard. The World. And then we get into the pips. Here we go. Here, as you can see, the colors are a lot more, they're a lot brighter and easier to, like I said, once again, easier to make things out in the Lo Scarabeo. So like I said, for study purposes, these are kind of helpful. They are also numbered, whereas you'll see they are not numbered on the Il Meneghello or the facsimile. When you look at the coins on the Il Meneghello, look at here, you don't really make out, unless you're in just the right light, the coins look more like a copper circle. You can't really, there is a little bit of an image on there, but it's a little bit trickier to see unless you're in the right light. In the Lo Scarabeo, super easy to make the design out. Just go a little quicker with these. Now we have, as you can see here, this is our Knave. We have our Chevalier, who is a Ginge in this version and blonde in this one. the blonde makes more sense. I think it was the Viscontis, or was this, as far as I remember, one of the two of them that were known for being a very blonde folk. So I'm not sure why these guys decided to color them in red. A little weird. Let me get to the wands. Make some more space here. Moving right through these cups here. Oh, those ones were not apparently in order. Okay. Okay, so we get the quartz. And once again, very easy. You can see here that she's got a cup in her hand, got a crown on her head. Here, it's not as easy to see that she's got it. Same with this guy. And last but not least, we have our swords. Look at that hat. It's a pretty awesome hat. Queen. And our queen. King, sorry. All right, so another thing to look at here, of course, our Il Meneghello is printed on that beautiful, thick, glorious Il Meneghello stock. Look at the size of it. It's enormous. Okay. And then here, excuse my reach, got our little teeny weeny Lo Scarabeos. Also made on a nice stock, but obviously it's not the same. I mean, look at the size difference here on these two decks. So obviously this deck is substantially more expensive. You're looking at around $100 depending on where you buy it from. You can get this one on BG Tarot or from Christina Dorsini, and also from Collectarot. This one, the Lo Scarabeo, very easily bought, and you're looking at about, I don't know, $25 maybe on Amazon. So readily available, super easy to get your hands up, and very reasonably priced. Now for me, I like having both. Like I said, for study purposes, sometimes it's nice to be able to easily make out your images, and it's also small, so I can throw it in my handbag if I want. And it's also nice for if I want to do readings or teaching or anything with these, just because I'm not worried about people touching them. I'm not worried about people damaging them. My Il Meneghellos, however, I would be terrified of something happening to them. So these ones I would definitely, these are for me, and I use them only for me, and we're just going to leave it like that. So I like actually having two of them. So they're very, very different, lots in common, both gorgeous. I highly recommend them both. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day. Thank you.